Thank you, Conrad. According to the CDC, sexually transmitted diseases are on the rise in the U.S. And here to tell us more about this is Nurse Christina Paris from the VA. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi, good morning.
Yes, thanks for making the drive in.
Yes, actually last week, according to the CDC, was National Sexually Transmitted Infection Awareness Week. So we're 1 week behind.
We're a little behind, but better late than never.
Yeah, it's always good to just reiterate this information.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this week, now that we're going to talk about it, just 1 week later, what are STIs and how prevalent are they right here in the Northwoods?
So they are going up quite a bit. And so this is Marta Humlet, our VA women's health provider, has insisted that I talk about this. So we want people to be safe. So they have gone up quite a bit. And the biggest ones are chlamydia, gonorrhea, and syphilis is making it's gone up like 200%.
Oh, wow.
So it's really huge. But the reason I'm not going to talk about syphilis necessarily today is because even though it's gone up quite a bit, the rates still are like only a couple of thousand. So, but it is a very serious and significant sexually transmitted infection, and it's caused actually a lot of stillbirths and problems with that. So with infants and newborns. So that's a big one. But today we're talking about chlamydia. It's a bacterial infection. It's transmitted through any kind of sexual contact, and it can affect males and females.
And what would it look like in the male and females?
So, yep, there are a little different. So in women, you're going to see, the vaginal discharge and abnormal bleeding. You might have some abdominal pain during sex, and burning with urination. So for the men, you're going to have more burning with urination. You might have some discharge from the penis. You'll have tenderness in the testicles, and you can have some scrotal swelling. So, but it kind of looks like it can mimic epididymitis a little bit too, which is another infection that can, or irritation that can be relevant to men. So.
And so some STIs, they stick with you for life and they don't really have a treatment. Is this one of those?
No. So that is, chlamydia is the most common STI that's out there. And yes, you can be treated with doxycycline. So you would want to take that. So you want to go in and see your doctor. In fact, some providers, like Marta, some women's health providers are really thinking that this should be part of the women's health exam that they have done annually. We're already testing for HPV, we're testing for cervical cancer, and while you're in there getting those tests, they think that you should just go ahead and get a test as well for chlamydia. But you want to abstain from any kind of sexual contact, you and your partner, until you've completely finished the course of antibiotics. And it's a good idea to go back in, and you might need to get retested. Sometimes you have to get 2 doses to get rid of this.
I get it.
But again, it can cause issues with pelvic inflammatory disease. It can cause problems with infertility, and it can cause ectopic pregnancies. So it is something that, even though it seems mild, and it may only seem like you have a yeast infection, it's kind of those kind of symptoms, you still want to get it treated.
Yeah. And then also when it comes to prevention, just to begin with, we want to clarify that if you're on birth control, you get a vasectomy, that's not going to prevent these types of things. It's like actual condom protection.
You are absolutely correct, and I'm glad you brought that up. So you definitely want to do that. You want to have those conversations with your partner. You want to get tested regularly, and you want to use condoms for protection. Yep. So.
Well, fantastic. It's good to know all this information, to be safe, to be on top of this as always, and serious implications if you have this and you don't do any sort of treatment.
Right. It can seem innocuous, but it's not really. So you got to be careful.
It can spread quicker than you realize.
It can. So we're going to stop the spread.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for coming in and kind of informing us on this. And yes, again, even though it's a week late, it's always good information to keep in your back pocket. So yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks.
And coming up, we have What's Trending.